Blessed be, it's the Zen Witch here. It's Friday, and that means it's Oracle Unboxing Day. And today we are looking at the Sacred Rebels Oracle by Alana Fairchild. Let me put a little bit of an offering here. Get me in the corner. This is some sandalwood. And let's take a look at the box. Nice sturdy box. Guidance for Living a Unique and Authentic Light. Alana Fairchild artwork by Skye, Morrison. Sacred Rebels Oracle published by Blue Angel. And pretty much the same on every side. The back. Set includes 44 cards and detailed 180-page guidebook. Artwork by Skye Morrison. This stunning deck is dedicated to you who want to live your own unique, inspired life and share your light with the world as a sacred offering. The Sacred Rebels Oracle is for those who are ready to celebrate and nurture their individuality. When you are a sacred rebel, you want to be fully alive and express your authentic truths. You want to help heal the world, even when that means shaking things up. Sacred rebels love life and refuse to believe that manifesting their dreams is impossible. This oracle deck is filled with striking imagery and beautiful heartfelt guidance to support you in awakening your sacred rebellious heart so that you will trust in your own uniqueness and authenticity and honor your creative power. And there are a few images on the back there. This is copyright. It says this printing. It's copyright 2014. This printing was 2016. Okay. There's Alana. Come on. And the backs of the cards, like the front of the box. So we see maid, mother, and crone images here. Very rich, richly colored. I love the artwork in this deck. All right, let me adjust a little bit. So we start with After the Storm. And the owl is carrying just a geometric thing, geometric thing in its talons. So we might want to look that up. Inner trust. I feel that looking at this image. There's an openness about the face that definitely displays trust to me. But inner trust, it means I trust myself. And when you're that, have that solid of a foundation, you can be open to things. Inspiration. Beautiful flying little bees and flowers against the grain. And I should mention that I'm recording this on March 20th and 2020, and it's a couple days until Saturn, the Lord of Karma, moves into the sign of Aquarius, out of its own sign of Capricorn, which is about the structure of things, the top-down structure, hierarchical structure, achievement, motivation, ambition, accomplishment, all of those things. It's also delay and denial and responsibility and duty, and anything that limits and restricts is the Saturn principle. It's the constrictive principle. And so we've been going out about business in the old way, and we've really seen a resurgence of that old way of thinking, of patriarchal way of thinking. And so Saturn getting ready to go into Aquarius, it comes under Uranus's rulership, which is going to bust things up a little bit. And Uranus rules rebelliousness. Back to the Sacred Rebels deck. Against the grain. Follow your own rhythm. Lovely movement. I mean, look at that art. Look at that. Look at the water and the sunlight and the birds. These are beautiful images. Follow your own rhythm. Shock of the new. Well, we're living that right now. Get the sunflowers and keyboards, and I think those look like cymbals. Yes, shock of the new crash. Legacy of Light. So those are the figures from the front. Look how different they look, though. You know, it's because on the front they've got red. Ooh, I like the blue. I really like the blue. It's nice that they made it different. Legacy of Light, Maid, Mother, and Crone. Be the hunter, not the hunted. When we were outside yesterday having a little equinox fire, um, we came in and it was like it was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I remember exactly, and we came in and he hollered up and said he'd heard a barred owl in the woods. What do you feel? There's an emphasis on the you, not what anybody else feels or what you think you ought to feel, but what do you feel? Okay. Releasing allegiances. What are... There are bees. There are bees on her. Bees are very much sacred to the goddess. If you've never heard Lane Redmond, this is kind of out left field, but if you've never heard of Lane Redmond, Layne, Redmond, she was an incredible drummer and a leader in frame drumming. She was a virtuoso. She was amazing. Unfortunately, she passed in recent years from cancer. But look up Lane Redmond and her Mob of Angels, if you can find any of those videos. But she does a lot of writing. She wrote a book called When the Drummers Were Women, and it was the history of drumming as far as the frame drum. Women started it. But anyway, she refers to bees a lot. There's a lot about the history of bees and their sacredness to the goddess. I mean, think honey. So honey and pollination and how they're agents of, fertilization and bringing forth life. But this says releasing allegiances, so that's really different. That was a little diversion about bees there. And I went straight to this page. She must want to talk to us. It is time to hold on to yourself and let go of another, even if just for a time. You have gained all that was meant to be from that connection, at least for now. You have given and you have received. The need to let go does not deny the value of what has been acquired. It is more that the time has come for greater productivity, creativity, abundance, and consciousness in your life. So it's talking about letting go of something external. Hold on to yourself, let go of another. I don't know it sounds like it means another person, so a relationship, and it says allegiances, but I think it could be broader than that. Certainly, there can be something else that is the center of your life that's not you. And maybe, that's what needs to be adjusted. So they have a lot written. There's another deck by Alana Fairchild that I will review soon, the Kuan Yin Oracle. And I find it's difficult to use it to really do readings because there's a lot written and she doesn't really boil it down to here's some keywords. So there's a lot of reading, and then there's a healing process that goes with it. So it's a really good self-exploration deck. Who am I? What am I about today? To really go deep and read each one of these things and do the healing process that's given. Let's see what it is real quick. Okay, I love my body loves me. I trust my body trusts me. I love wisdom and wisdom loves me. I trust wisdom and wisdom trusts me. So it's about, it's just basically a grounding ritual and putting an egg of light around you. But it is about drawing your energy and releasing allegiances. To me, says ultimately it's about disconnecting from the external and what's out there that you're serving and bringing it back home. Okay, onward. Diving for light. Look at the seahorses. Oh, the artwork is so beautiful. I would like to have these on my walls. I don't have any wall space, but I'd like to have them on my walls. Every journey starts with a single step. Look at her suitcase. Sorry, I'll try to keep them more centered for you. It drives me crazy. Power of attraction. Mm, yes. Going beyond normal. I wish they would put normal in quotes because there isn't any such thing as normal. We tend to think of normal as an ideal, that, something is normal means it's in its best state. And that could be true. If something is normal, it means it's not, in an extreme state one way or another. So, but the idea of normal really plants in our head as humans that there is some external ideal that I need to measure up to, not an internal one. And so we get this idea that we don't measure up because, whoever can. I, a long time ago, when I was really doing my core therapy, swapped out normal for functional. So it really is about, it's not about who you are. You are who you are, and that's what needs to be cherished as something sacred. But how you're functioning is what we need to measure day by day. How am I doing today? How am I functioning today? How am I moving through life? Am I overwhelmed with emotion? Am I out of touch with the physical and my duties? So the functional part, swap that out for normal. So I like this, going beyond normal, yes, because ain't no such thing. Big bold vision. Ooh. Oh, look at that. I love this artist. Okay, let me see her name again here on the box. Autumn Skye Morrison. Dear lady, you really got it going on. What you want wants you. I like that one a lot. Yeah, it's okay. You know the movie Babe, when he talks about those little ideas that tickle and nag, and that in those are the seeds of destiny. What you want wants you. What you get obsessed about is something that's calling your name. Come and see me. Come see me closer. There's something for you to learn here. There's something big for you to learn here. Sometimes we learn it through trauma. Sometimes we learn it through just diving deep into something that we are so head over heels with that we go into grok it. If you've ever read Stranger in a Strange Land, we want to absorb it completely. So what you want wants you. Hear the call and, yeah, follow that call. What is already with you? Okay, that's interesting because it's neither a statement nor a question, so you can look at it both ways. What is already with you? All right. Spirals of manifestation. I love the color. She's not stuck in any particular, I mean, there's a distinct palette, but the flavor of each card is so different, from, light to this really intense dream, a beautiful dream. Look at that intense blue. That's my favorite. Softly, softly, the tender touch. Oh, that looks like Kuan Yin. Look at the tear. I'm going to set you aside, lady. Beyond the mind, the heart beats. She feels, she knows. Wow. I, I'm seeing a battered image here. Are you seeing that too? Are these bruises I'm looking at? I need to know. She feels, she knows. An illumination is erupting from within you, as a vision that is bringing what was once obscured into clarity. This is not likely to happen as a blinding, shocking insight, but as more of a softer, gentle knowing. It is like knowing something without understanding exactly when or how you came to know it. Okay, well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't even really sound like you're dealing with trauma, but I'm looking at this and I just got struck right here by this almost, looking like bruised. Yikes. Defend to the end the worthwhile. Even look at how different that is with the gray tones and the... No, actually, the blue is coming from the light on my camera. So that blue is not blue on the card. It's all gray. Very beautiful. New birth, guarded vigilantly. Ah. Release the dark wound, let love live. I really love these. I wouldn't have to look anything up, would you? I mean, with just the phrases that are on it, you could certainly get a reading. Relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. Be at cause. Does that mean be at your purpose? Be at cause, to have a cause. I didn't think you needed to see that close up, but yeah, I'm going to look at that one too. Receiving. Wow. Collaborative dreaming. Years ago, when I was, I had a baby, and I had a baby coven too. There was like 5 of us, and we were circling. It didn't last for very long. I never do go for very long with, coven-y groups. I'm just such a solitaire. But um, we started dreaming together. And there was one particular dream that 3 out of 5 of us had, and it was after a storm, the storm. And I was going around with the wheelbarrow and collecting blankets and pillows, and canned peaches were prominent, and filling this wheelbarrow and distributing things. And then one of the women came up to me and asked for something, and I said, no, I have to keep the rest for my family. I'd given away all I could. But they were, the other 2 were dreaming that it was after the storm, and they were, coming up to me. So interesting. So collaborative dreaming is a real thing. When you're sharing energy, etheric trips, and you're sharing bumping auras in these otherworldly places, it spills over into the unconscious state. Because what you're doing is you're opening up, you're kind of bringing the conscious and the unconscious together in ritual. You open up to the unconscious and let it come out and play while you're awake. And sometimes after ritual, it's hard to remember exactly what happened, because for me anyway, because I have a shamanic practice and I get very trancy. It's also a reason why it's not the greatest idea to film ritual, because it never translates. It never translates. Okay, seeing the true you. The perfection of your life. Trust yourself. Oh, that's beautiful. Faith in the process. What does she have? What's the red? It's just a cushion? Don't know. Heaven sent. Ooh. I know what that feels like. In the world, not of the world. I said this exact phrase to somebody today, of people being in it but not of it. We were talking about Mama Gaia, who's, putting us all in timeout now, and she's had enough of this disease that is us, and her immune system is fighting us. And I was talking about how, so many pagans that I know have been going, this is coming for, decades now. Yes, it's coming. It's a coming, because we know how messed up our relationship is, how broken our relationship is as a culture with the earth, with the system that we are part of, and talking about the patriarchal religions and how they do this separation of, separating us from the animals, separating us from nature, that we're in the world but not of it. And yeah. But there's a different meaning to this. In the world but not of it kind of means I'm beyond it, transcendent of the worldly disciplines and whatever, more spiritual. But I was thinking about, in the terms of, I live on this planet, but I'm not part of the system. So anyway, look at her. She's amazing. Conscious connections. Ooh. Listening for truth. Ooh, isn't that lovely? I used to have a big conch shell. I wish I still did. Focus on the light. A lot of sunflowers. Restore and replenish. That's a beautiful image. That's really evocative. All of these, they really do make me feel something. I'm connecting with the images. Free from judgment, free to love. Sacred Fool. Bring it into form. Oh, look at the footprint. I like that. I really like that image. The word wants to be written. I like that too, because it's got the dark blue. And come to life. And is she painting herself? It's like she's painting color on herself. Visions of life beyond death. Oh, that's beautiful. I want that on my wall so bad. I betcha there's a place to get them. And then we're back to the beginning after the storm. So let's take a look at a couple of these. And I noticed that she doesn't describe images. When you're looking a card up, it doesn't say, you're looking at this kind of image. It's just the instruction. So softly, softly, the tender touch says, the feminine wisdom of gentleness can assist you now. When we're at a point in life where we want to attain greater things but don't necessarily have a proportionally greater supply of energy at our disposal, it is time to work smarter rather than harder. This is the way of feminine wisdom. However, a cultural ignorance of the feminine way currently prevails. We are generally taught that the more force we use, the more we try to make things happen, the more we will achieve. The feminine way is not about force, nor is it about driving, striving, pushing, or grabbing at what we can in order to create. It is about inviting what we wish for to come into the space we have provided for it internally and in our lives. This method cultivates more energy, causes less stress, and attracts what is desired. It is manifestation by invitation rather than by will or force. Absolutely. It's making a space for things. I've done a lot of readings of people who were like desperately wanting a relationship and just it's never happening for them. And particularly people that are in middle age, and I got to say men that I've done readings for. And they're lonely and they want someone in their lives. But I suppose this would be the same way for anyone who's in their 40s, 50s looking for a relationship, and your life gets settled and you really get to a place where this is the way I live my life, and I live my life this way because I like it this way. And thinking about disrupting that with falling in love, because falling in love can be extremely disruptive. It wrecks all of your plans. And so my question to them is, how much space are you making in your life for it? How much are you willing to let your life change? How much do you like the way things are now, and how willing are you for your life to change? Because to expect somebody else to step in to your ready-made life and adapt to yours and not bring their own is selfish. So, and not, conducive to a real relationship. So anyway, I told a story in one of the Goddess Oracle decks about invoking Lakshmi and clearing out the old dryer that had been sitting in the laundry room for months, and clearing it out and saying, I'm making a space for a new one to come in. Within 2 days we had it. So, and it showed up at my door, knock, knock, knock. Hey, we're moving. Do you need a washer and dryer? That kind of thing. So making the space, rather than trying to force things into being in your life, rather you invite them in. You invite them in. This is the difference between the active and the receptive when we talk about masculine, feminine. And I don't really like those gendered. I mean, they're archetypal, but I don't really like those gendered descriptions of them. So active and receptive is what I like better. And active is I'm pushing things. I'm going to make it happen. Receptive is I'm open to receiving this. And the receptive way is also I am opening my eyes to see where it already exists in my life, this thing that I'm looking for. I'm going to open my eyes and look around and recognize it everywhere it already is. Because you couldn't want something unless it's already part of you. You wouldn't even be aware of it. In astrology, this is true. Somebody that really wants to learn how to do something, it's because it's already part of their chart. It's part of their makeup. And so that creates a desire in them. So yeah, just opening your life to what's there. And so that's softly, softly, the tender touch. I really like that. Let's look at relax the hold of darkness and be at cause. I'm interested about the title there. Dear Sacred Rebel, this moment in your life requires great courage. Fortunately, you possess that in bucket loads. You are being asked to allow yourself to be lifted out of one level of known reality and into the next level of higher voltage reality. Higher voltage reality requires a more absolute trust and a heart that is surrendered into the greater heart of the universe, so that life can happen to us, through us, and with us more quickly, more radically, more beautifully, and more boldly. You are now being invited into this new reality where things happen quickly and according to bold, loving optimism. This is a reality not only of potential, but of manifestation of the great big cosmic yes. Okay. So I just thought of something at Hogwarts. We did a thing about hope punk. There was a hashtag hope punk, and it was like hoping beyond hope, radical hopefulness. That even when things are absolutely at the shittiest, I am just going to do an act of radical hoping and looking to the future. So yeah, I would like to invoke the spirit of hope punk there to go up with that sandalwood. Thank you very much. Okay. I don't really want to keep reading. There's just so much to read. And I like it when, I love it when a deck gives a long explanation. Like, they'll talk about, a description of the image and everything in it. And then they'll start giving you the gist of what those things mean in the image. And then there will be divinatory meaning, and you get keywords, boom, 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 or just a pithy phrase that, right there, that's what that card means. And then reversed if there are any. But Alana Fairchild does tend to give you a real teaching. There's a teaching that goes with each card, and that certainly has its place. This deck in particular, with the key phrases, like I said, I don't think I'd really need to look things up a lot with these, because those key phrases are very evocative, as are the images. So, beautiful, beautiful deck. Let's see the book, if there's anything else we need to see in here. This oracle is dedicated to those who aren't afraid to rattle cages, ruffle feathers, and rock boats from a place of loving service to the spiritual evolution of humanity. May your rebellious heart beat with the power of divine grace, and may your soul thrive as together we create a world that is fully awakened to love. That's beautiful. So the introduction, and there's... all right, I will read this one little paragraph, and that'll be the end. Sacred rebels know that even if something has always been done in a particular way, a better way can always be found. Saturn going into Aquarius. Sacred rebels question the way things have to be. They dare to dream of a healthier world based more in love than fear, where it is possible to live your dreams, manifest your heartfelt visions, and life is nourishing rather than a constant struggle or drain. Sacred rebels believe in love and defy those that say you need to live in the real world. Sacred rebels are living in the real world. Theirs is a world of love, possibility, individuality, and freedom. Sacred rebels, it's hard to say. Sacred rebels. Rebels. Sacred rebels refuse to be put down by those who are frightened of being truly alive. And then there's a couple sections in the introduction. Why do we need creativity? What creative awakening offers? This oracle deck works with you. How you can work with this deck, journaling and altars. That's very nice. The healing processes. Visualization or little ritual to do. Don't understand if you can't understand what the healing process is supposed to be doing, or if you're doing it right, even simply reading through it will do something positive for you. And then card readings. And then there's a layout called the egg. Guidance for new life, creative awakening happening for me now. Any blocks or issues that I'm working through to allow this to happen. The gift that is coming to me through this process, guidance for interacting with the outer world during this process, special message from my higher self and spiritual guides on this matter, and guidance for bringing this process into practical manifestation in my life. I'm having trouble talking tonight. And then the messages. So, again, beautiful deck. There's the artist. There's Autumn Skye. Autumn Skye Morrison. Born in Nova Scotia. She moved her family west across Canada, spent her youth between the majesty of the Rocky Mountains with her father. My purpose is to create. She considers herself among the blessed of the blessed. My purpose is to create. In that process, I find stillness and rhythm, my teacher and passion. With intention, I aim to share honesty and awakening, to celebrate this fantastic adventure, to inspire and be inspired. Each canvas takes me on a journey. And as my paintbrush follows each time, I am led back to my center. So wonderful. It's absolutely in print because it's a fairly new deck. And as I said before, a really good one for self-study and for waking up things in your life. You know, to be a rebel is to change, to embrace change, to catalyze change, not just embrace it, but catalyze it. So I think it would be a great deck if you're looking to catalyze change in your life and just go deeper. A lot of good writing and rituals and things to do. And I really thank you for coming and hanging out with me yet again. Please like and subscribe and share around if you like what you see. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to hear me talk about. Lots more videos to come. Tarot on Mondays, Oracle on Fridays, and fun stuff in between. I am here for you. Hit me up in the comments and I'll answer you back. In the meantime, stay safe and healthy, everybody. Peace, blessed be. This is the Zen Witch.